Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Wanted to do a quick little video today, kind of change gears a little bit. You know, the last few days, we've really kind of focused on the defensive side of the ball with the staff officially being announced. Plus, I kind of covered the news of Henry T and Crouch, what I thought was going on there. So I wanted to talk about something positive. I wanted to talk about something that excites me. It's probably going to be the main thing most of us as Tennessee fans are going to be focusing on as we head into spring practice, and that's the offensive side of the ball, and more importantly, the quarterback position. And you can say what you want about Josh Heupel and whether or not he's going to be the guy that brings Tennessee back to where they need to be, but his track record speaks for itself. When you look at what he did at UCF, you look at what he did at Missouri, the one thing I think we can count on is quarterback development and also points on the scoreboard. But before we get into this thing, you guys know the drill. Please do me a favor, smash that like button, go ahead and destroy it, hit it, click it. I would greatly appreciate it. It does help the analytics of the channel. So it's just down below the video here if you would be so kind as to hit that thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe as well. I know JP, Dauber, and the Indy Kid are going to be covering the SEC tournament coming up this weekend and also going into March Madness. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out when we go live. But let's get on with it. Let's take a look at this article from our good friends over at A to Z Sports. The article says Tennessee Vols Josh Heupel details his most important trait in a quarterback. Let's take a look at what it says. The article by Zach Reagan says Tennessee Vols head coach Josh Heupel has plenty of experience when it comes to quarterbacks. Again, I think that's the one thing we can count on. I think we are going to see great improvement at the quarterback position, and not only the talent that we have there, but I think we're going to see a legitimate quarterback competition. It's not just going to be trotting one player out there week in and week out. I think we are going to see a competition, and the guy that truly, we heard this line way too much, but the guy that truly gives Tennessee the best chance to win, I think, will be the starting quarterback this season. The article goes on to say the former Oklahoma quarterback has a reputation as a great quarterback developer, working with guys like Sam Bradford, Drew Lock, and most recently Dylan Gabriel at UCF, who passed for over 3,600 yards as a true freshman. If I had my little highlighter out, I would go ahead and highlight the words true freshman. That's something I'm going to touch on here in just a little bit. Keep that in mind. It's safe to say that Heupel knows what he's looking for in a quarterback. So what does he view as the most important trait? Surprisingly, it's not arm strength. This comes from a radio interview Heupel appeared on 3HL on 104.5 The Zone in Nashville this week and detailed exactly what he's looking for in an elite quarterback. You can see the tweet here from 3HL. If you want to go listen to the whole thing, I think it's about 15 minutes. The interview is. But Heupel says the huge arm, yeah, that's a great added bonus, but that's not the determining factor for the amount of success a guy has inside our offense. We had big strong pro style quarterbacks. We've had guys that have been a little bit shorter on the tape measure stick that use their feet a bunch. At the end of the day, I think the competitive makeup of the position is really important. They better be ultra competitive first and foremost, because that's going to drive what they do inside and out of your building. We're going to take a look at that here moving forward. That's the ultra trait we're looking for. And if you have that, you probably got yourself a guy that's going to lead in a positive way. It makes sense. We've seen plenty of talented quarterbacks with big arms end up being not very far in their careers. Ultra competitive players, however, are able to make up for their lack of a big arm with their unique ability to lead. So let's talk about Tennessee. Let's talk about the quarterback position. Let's talk about spring practice, what we're looking for, what we want. You look at that quarterback room, and I think it's pretty exciting. I really do. You know, you can start with the guy, Harrison Bailey. Had some bright spots last year, but he also made some, a few mistakes. But we're talking about a guy that was a true freshman, a guy that chose to be an early enrollee, but regardless, he didn't get a chance to even go through spring practice. And I know, as annoying as it was, we heard it from Jeremy Pruitt all year that he's just not ready. He's just not ready. He's just not ready. Well, how ready is Harrison Bailey going to be now after having some in-game repetitions, now an off-season to work, and now he's going to have a full spring with Josh Heupel? Be interesting to see how this plays out for Harrison Bailey. Could he be the guy to take that starting job for the Vols? I don't think he has the big arm strength, but again, we just heard it from Josh Heupel himself. That's not necessarily required. He does have great accuracy. Something that I liked about him this past season was his pocket presence. He seemed poised. He seemed controlled. He delivered the ball on time. Again, he did make some mistakes, but you're talking about a true freshman. What about Hinden Hooker? I think he's a guy that's going to obviously provide you with the most experience. The guy has a career quarterback rating of 159.8, 22 touchdowns to 7 interceptions over at Virginia Tech. And also a guy that can make some plays with his feet. He has over 1,000 rushing yards in basically 2 seasons, averaging 4.2 yards per carry. So you're talking about a guy that can not just extend plays, but also make plays with his feet. Now I'm going to throw a complete wild card at you guys. Just an absolute complete wild card. Brian Maurer. I don't know that Brian Maurer will even be on campus. I don't know that he'll even be on campus once spring practice is complete. Seems like a guy we constantly are talking about how he's going to transfer, and then he doesn't transfer. Something that I do like about Brian Maurer, I love his energy, the fire he brings to the field. His accuracy is obviously all over the place. I think he's injury prone. Maybe he's not injury prone. Maybe he just needs to learn to get down instead of trying to lower his head and truck linebackers. Obviously, the comments he made on Twitter about Tennessee fans, a lot of guys turned against him. A lot of people turned against him based on his comments on Twitter of, basically just cutting down the fan base. And somebody got on me for the video I made about Crouch and Henry T, and saying that I need to put the work in and earn a scholarship. I'm not trying to put the work in and earn a scholarship. I'm a fan. And guess what? I'm entitled to my opinion. I can come to you. This is my platform. This is the Talkin VAWLS platform. We can come here and say whatever we want about whoever we want. Welcome to America, my friend. Welcome to America. And you guys are free to do that in the comments as well. As long as you keep it civil, you are all entitled to your opinion. That doesn't mean I'm trying to earn a scholarship and be the next starting quarterback for the University of Tennessee. The last person I want to talk about, and this is a guy that excites me. I think he excites a lot of us. And that's Caden Salter. And when you go back and you look at the article and what Josh Heupel said, you want a guy that's competitive. You want a guy that has that will to win, a guy that has that swag. He's got that it factor. And I think when you look at Caden Salter, he has all of that. He has every bit of that. He had the tweet. It was a video after they won the game and they were going into the state championship game. And it created a lot of buzz. A lot of people were saying that he was arrogant, he was cocky. No, he's a winner, and he's a competitor, and he wants to win the football game. And that's that it factor, a guy that's willing to do whatever it takes to win on the field. And I think that is something that Caden Salter brings to the table. And I'm not saying that Caden Salter is going to be the starter. I like things that each guy brings. I think they each bring something different. And I think that's why this quarterback competition is going to be so fun to watch this spring. It's going to be so fun to watch. But when I do look at what Caden Salter does on the field, forget his mindset, his competitive nature, his swag, all that stuff. Forget that. Let's put that aside. Look what he does on the field. You can see his film playing there in the background. I watched some of his highlights before I came on to make this video. And my goodness, you talk about a playmaker. You talk about, I talked about Hinden Hooker extending plays. You want to see a guy extend plays, make plays. Caden Salter is a playmaker. What he does in the pocket, but he's constantly looking down the field. He wants to throw the ball down the field. If he needs to go, he'll go. He'll run the football. But look at him down there right now, moving around the pocket, and then whoop, got to go straight to the end zone. The kid is a baller. He's a gamer. I just say Tahu. Let's move on. I'm ready to rock and roll with Caden Salter. You guys leave me a comment. Let me know. I want to know who you think the top guy is. And look, no matter who it is, whether it's Harrison Bailey, whether it's Hinden Hooker, Caden Salter, Brian Maurer, I don't care who is taking the snaps. I just want to see Tennessee succeed. But when I see that article from Josh Heupel talking about competitive nature and will to win, the name that comes to mind is Caden Salter. So like I said, leave me a comment. Let me know who you think, who you see being the front runner. Is it Harrison Bailey? Is it Caden Salter? I know the answers are going to be all over the place, but that's what excites me about this spring. I think spring practice, I hope we get a lot of access. And based on what Josh Heupel has been doing, he seems to be using social media to get everybody excited about this upcoming season. So I hope we see more of that as we go through spring practice. That's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. I am excited about this quarterback room. I'm excited about the entire offense. I'm so glad that Velus Jones is back. I'm excited about the guys that were freshmen last year, Hyatt, Holiday. I want to see what those guys can do on the field in this offense. It should be a lot of fun. But do me a favor, going to wrap this thing up. Smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. If you haven't done so yet, I would greatly appreciate that. Again, leave me a comment. Let me know who your front runner is for the quarterback position. But for the Talkin VAWLS Network, my name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
The songs how like me.